So let's talk about debarkation from this particular sailing. It was crazy. So on debarkation day, we're supposed to be out of the staterooms by about 8:30 or so. And by 7:30, they start, announcing, names of people to come down to guest services, which is never really a good thing.
Yeah, usually that means, hey, come pay your bill. Your credit card's not working, or you got money due, and that's kind of what I thought this was. And there was 3 or 4 names they called, and then most of them went away, and then they started calling.
They called for Darren.
Darren.
And
Where's Darren?
Called Darren a dozen times or more.
Right. We kept thinking, come on, Darren. You have got to have heard this by now, not knowing then what we know now. So, when a cruise ship or any ship enters U.S. waters, there is a passenger list that is going to be turned over to Customs and Border Patrol. What they do with this list is, I did not know this, but turns out they go through it and they can look for warrants. They can look for anything on who's on the ship, and if there's anything going on, they can detain.
So on this list, they'll review it, and those that have outstanding warrants, the Customs and Border Patrol can and will pick them up. So it turns out on this ship, they actually did pick up somewhere between 7 and 12 different people, one of whom was Darren.
Darren.
And so Darren apparently had taken upon himself to hide somewhere in the ship. Now, he's not still there. They found him. They got him off the ship. But as a result of this search for Darren,
no one could get off the ship.
So it took us an extra 3 hours or more before we got off the ship, which definitely threw off the rest of our schedule.
Right. So they're calling for him and they're searching for him. And at first we don't know what's going on. But as it goes along, we were in a Facebook roll call group for this certain cruise. So everybody in this Facebook group is going, Darren, come on, turn yourself in, man. Where are you? Come on, we want to get off the ship. So it goes on, and people are doing all kinds of funny things. They added an event to our event called, Find Darren, or using other words, Find Darren's, what. But anyway, it turned into just this crazy. People were mad. We were laughing at it at first, but then it went on and on, where we should have gotten out. Everybody was supposed to be off the ship by, I think, 9:45. Everybody's supposed to be off the ship because they're reloading a whole new cruise a whole new passenger list are getting on for a new cruise. And it's, we're past 9:45 and they're still not letting people off the ship. And we were in the parking garage right there at the port, and we got to our car at 12:02. And by then, tempers were running high. There was an issue in the port.
There was a fight in the terminal.
Yeah,
a lot of craziness happened on this particular sailing on debarkation day.
We saw at least 2 or 3. We didn't take the pictures, so we can't say for sure who these people were. If one of them was Darren, but we think one was Darren. There's a couple others, pictures of people being let off in handcuffs. So we know there was a group of people that were arrested upon getting to the port.
So the short story there is, if you have a warrant out, you probably don't need to
Don't cruise. Yeah, don't do it. It was, it wasn't terrible. The cruise was great. So, it didn't affect whether or not I would cruise again or whether or not I would cruise out of New Orleans. We actually are having a group cruise. We're going back out from the same port on the same ship in October. Looking forward to it still. So, this was really not because we were so late getting off. It wasn't really Carnival's fault. It was Darren and others' fault. So I don't, hold Carnival up for the problems.
I don't think Darren's going to make the one in October.
No, I don't think so either.
Talk soon. On this cruise, we decided to do the drink package, right? On Carnival, it's called Cheers. It was something we wanted to try, and we wanted to discuss, really hear whether we felt like it was worth it. I think it's like $56 a day.
Just recently went up, increased in price.
Right, and that's per person. Then they add 18% to that. So all said and done, you're in for about $100 a day, $130 a day.
It was when we purchased it, once they add gratuities for a 4-day cruise, it was $518 for both of us.
Yeah.
We pre-purchased it before we got on the ship.
So you have to ask yourself, am I going to consume $518 worth of alcohol over the course of 4 days? And that as a couple. And for me, I felt like I'm wired in such a way. I felt like I had to try to get my money's worth out of it, and that was a bit of a challenge because I felt like I could not have the drink. Right, I had to get up drinking in order to get my money's worth, and there's only so much of that your body can actually take. So I struggled with it, I think.
Yeah. I was coming place where, okay, I'm paying $57, $58 per day, and drinks are about $15. If I get, do the math, 4 or 5 drinks, then I've at least covered that $56. But I'm not I drink occasionally, and so I drink way more on a cruise than I do at home because it's just not something I do. So that's hard for me. I mean, 1 or 2, maybe 3 in a day is about all I really want. So it was challenging. Now, it did include coffee drinks, and I love the coffee shop because just regular coffee you can get in Lido anytime in the buffet. But for the specialty coffee drinks, the coffee shop, they have spiked coffee. They have the little fancy frappuccinos that I love, frappes, and those are included on the Cheers package. So that helps with the price for sure, because I could go get a coffee drink and it be included in there. So, however, I found that my interpretation of it just didn't work. I mean, we tried it on the short one because it's even more expensive on a 7-day. But on the day we went into Cozumel, we had several drinks at the all-inclusive Nachicokum where we went. Well, I had more than I normally drink, okay. So when I got back to the ship, I didn't want anything. So that day, I did not have any liquor on the ship whatsoever.
We did not get our money's worth out of the cruise package that
right. That day, or even the next day. I felt like we weren't drinking as much, and so personally for me, I felt like it was definitely not worth it, because there was 2 days that I didn't even drink 3 to 4 drinks in a day. So I felt like we probably lost a little bit of money. So I don't know that I would ever want to do it again.
Yeah, I think going forward, we'll probably just buy our drinks one at a time. That way, we don't have that pressure. Like I have to go consume a bunch of alcohol. I think it's a lot easier, at least on me. If I want an old fashioned, I'll go get an old fashioned rather than feeling like I have to have pressure to.
Have pressure to drink 15 drinks in a day.
Right. Yeah.
All adults over 21 in your room. If one person gets it, everybody has to get it.
So, short story. I don't think we'll probably do it again. It was a good experience. It's good to say we've tried it, and you may find that it works for you, but I don't think it worked for us.
Right, I agree.